Hi, I'm Ryan CRC. We all know that corruption oozes out of every corner of the government, but no political party is more corrupt than the Republican Party. Donald Trump was impeached for inciting insurrection on January 6th, and his crime was self-evident, as I have proven in other videos. Yet Republican senators chose not to convict him. Republicans George Bush and Donald Trump both lost the popular vote, and yet they were still allowed to appoint 5 out of the 9 Supreme Court justices. That means the majority of the judges on the Supreme Court were not democratically elected and do not represent the will of the American people. We have recently seen their bastardization of our democracy when they overturned Roe v. Wade, even though 70% of Americans think abortion should be legal, according to Pew Research. What makes this corruption even worse is several of these judges lied during their interviews and said they would not seek to overturn this landmark case. Then they turned around and took away women's rights anyway. Of course, we all know how corrupt Donald Trump is, whether he's funneling taxpayer dollars into his own hotels, lying about voter fraud to overturn an election so he can stay in power, or obstructing justice while he's under criminal investigation. But let's not forget another enemy of the American people, Mitch McConnell. He blocked President Obama's nomination for the Supreme Court when Obama had 8 months left on his term. Supposedly because Mitch wanted to wait until the next election so he could better serve the will of the American people. Yet Mitch McConnell pushed through Donald Trump's nominee for the Supreme Court with only 6 weeks left in his term, and no reason to believe he would win a second term, seeing as how he was down in all the polls, political experts forecast him to lose, and, well, let's face it, he was the most hated man and most hated president in America. So Mitch McConnell clearly was not respecting the will of the people when he rushed through Donald Trump's third nominee for the Supreme Court, because Trump and therefore his appointees were not democratically elected. Mitch McConnell was even proud of his hypocrisy and corruption. He told Sean Hannity that blocking Obama's nominee for the Supreme Court was the best decision he made in his entire political career. He actually bragged about ignoring the will of the American people who voted for Barack Obama. When Democrats promote Social Security, universal health care, and free college education, Republicans call them socialists, as if that's a bad thing. Of course, we are a socialist country in many ways, seeing as how our taxes pay for streets, libraries, schools, sanitation, parks, fire departments, etc. And Republicans even enjoy using our tax dollars to fund the police departments and the military and subsidize billionaires and their corporations. So really, Republicans like socialism when it serves their agenda, but they vilify socialism when it helps the American people. Republicans are employing a logical fallacy as an argumentative tactic called an appeal to patriotism. They're accusing Democrats of being socialists as if that somehow makes them un-American. Then they promote capitalism as the one true American way. Knowing they can appeal to this sense of patriotism their white Christian nationalist voters hold so dear. All the while, these same Republicans are using socialism to support their own political policies. When they were campaigning for president, Donald Trump called Bernie Sanders a communist because he promoted social programs that would help the American people. Then Trump turned around and inflated the deficit by spending trillions of tax dollars on defense and corporate welfare. When Donald Trump became president, he reallocated over $1 million taxpayer dollars to fortify his own private residence so his son could continue living there safely instead of moving into the White House like he was supposed to. Trump also misappropriated millions more of taxpayer funds to house Secret Service agents and other government employees in his own hotels and resorts during the approximate 300 times he played golf. Donald Trump may be the most crooked politician in the history of America, at least that we know of, but he's certainly not the only Republican to wear corruption like a badge of dishonor. Others include the aforementioned Mitch McConnell for his role in sabotaging the courts against the will of the American people. Other Republicans like Jim Jordan, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Scott Perry, Lauren Boebert, Matt Gaetz, and Wendy Rogers helped orchestrate or supported the January 6th insurrection. They spread malicious lies about the 2020 election and sought to overturn our democracy so they could keep their illegitimate leader in power against the will of the American people. Those are just a few of the miscreants who represent the most corrupt political party in the American government, the Republican Party. So when you go to the polls and vote in the upcoming elections, please remember who the real enemies of the American people are. I'm Ryan CRC. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can watch similar videos. Also, follow me on social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for related content. Until next time, take care.